But let's talk about your undergraduate experience at Morris Brown. Morris Brown is one of the smaller HBCUs in the country, for those who don't know. Our Tanner project, I just mentioned, we visited the AU Center back in 91. And at one point, Morris Brown, in the history of Morris Brown, if I'm not mistaken, it had lost some significant accreditation and lost some significant funding, and nearly left the school completely like defunct. Um, to many of us who also attended HBCUs, Shamann, I know in conversation with other people who attended other HBCUs, Morris Brown is like a mystery. And so tell us about your experience there and what made you choose to go there and what's the status of the university today.
Well, I want to say, first of all, there is no other HBCU or, quite frankly, any institution that lost their accreditation for a 20-year period and got it back. So Morris Brown College is fully accredited after 20 years of losing our accreditation because we chose to keep certificated programs and other programs of higher education while we went through our reaccreditation process. Otherwise, we would have lost our accreditation. So big ups to the team that has worked so hard to make sure that we got our accreditation reinstated. Dr. James, our president, who's also one of my fraternity brothers. But the alumni, we have a very strong alumni at Morris Brown College that people I don't think really understand the resilience and the spirit of the folks who attended Morris Brown College. And folks stayed faithful. We continue to have homecomings. We continue to, I was there still every year, even during the time when we had lost our accreditation. But we believed, and folks put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Our chapter of the fraternity raised a lot of money every single year, and we still do. We have our golf tournament during homecoming every year. And so just happy that we're back. But in terms of being on campus and going to school at Morris Brown, it was an amazing experience for me. One, having all black professors that really showed interest in my success and provided me with opportunities that I didn't even know were going to exist even before I got into school. But just seeing so many people who it wasn't an anomaly for them to go to college. Most of the people I experienced and met down there, like they had parents who went to college. They had brothers and sisters who went to college. They had families who owned business. In some cases, none of them had ever worked for anybody who wasn't black. You know, those are not the experiences we get in California. And not to say that that's a bad thing, because I love our diversity in California. But for me, going to a HBCU definitely saved my life. I needed to be in that environment. I needed that experience with people who looked like me, loved on me, and had the skills and the ability to educate someone who was thirsty for knowledge, but also had never seen so many people that looked like me in the classroom. I think I had 2 black teachers my entire life. And I don't think people realize how important that is for somebody to be educated by people that look like them. Most certainly from a respect factor or an opportunity factor. I mean, if I'd have had more black male teachers, I probably wouldn't have got in as much trouble as I did in school, particularly at a younger age. But that experience is unmatched. To learn from people who obviously were at the highest level of academics, but who looked like me and had accomplished so much. And then not just being at Morris Brown College, being in the middle of the Atlanta University Center where you had Morris Brown College, Morehouse, Spelman, Clark Atlanta University, the Intertheological Center. So we just had so many campuses that were together. The academics part was amazing. The fun was amazing. Being around all my folks, and it was always something to do. Like every single day of the week, it was something to do, something fun to do, and some of the most beautiful women that you'll ever come across. And being able to be in school in that environment as a teenager, a late teenager, and then a young adult, there's no experience like it at all.
Yeah, yeah. I again still learning more about Morris Brown through you. Congratulations to the university and to everyone who put forth effort to reestablish university to prominence in the HBCU community. And I appreciate your detailed account of your experience there. I imagine I went to TSU, and right up the street from TSU is Fisk University and Meharry Medical College, both HBCUs. Although medical college is pretty much just doctors, and they don't come out a whole lot. And then there's the college town. Vanderbilt University is not far from TSU. There's several other smaller colleges in the town. Middle Tennessee State University is about 30 minutes away, which is the biggest, public university in the state of Tennessee. So, that I didn't have the same HBCU experience in terms of being in the AU center, and I do understand having other colleges around. There's always something to do, so I understand that part, and I can only imagine how fun it was for always having something to do with people that look like you all the time. You don't have to really go far. I mean, you could walk really literally to each one of those campuses, and just walk right back to the dorm. So, like I can only imagine how much fun that was back then, man. Because I remember when I went, I applied to 3 schools. I applied to Southern, I applied to Clark, and I applied to TSU. I got accepted to Clark, and I got accepted to TSU, but I decided to go to TSU. But when I hear stories about that, sometimes I'm like, man, what it would have been like if I went to Clark, even though TSU pride, I love Big Blue. I would not change that experience for anything in the world, just like you wouldn't change your experience at Morris Brown.
And plus, y'all got a pretty big campus. And to your point, there's so much other stuff to do and so many other campuses around similarly. Because we didn't just have the HBCUs too. We had other schools also that added to that college life experience.
Because you got Georgia Tech down there, University of Georgia.
University of Georgia, about 40 minutes away. But quite as kept, I didn't get accepted to TSU because had I gotten accepted to TSU, I might have made that decision just to follow in Pop's footsteps. But what's for you is for you, and God knew that Morris Brown is where I needed to be.
Yeah, absolutely, man.